Hey, my name is Brian Wall with worshiptutorials.com, and this is part one of a two-part lesson on how to play the four major chords that you will use in the key of E. In this first part of the lesson, I'm just going to show you sort of the standard way that I play the chords E, A, B, and C sharp minor. So there are other chords that you use in the key of E, but these are the four major ones that most songs in the key of E will pretty much stick to these four chords. So this is just another guitar lesson in a series of lessons. If you click the link below, if you're on YouTube, or if you're at Worship Tutorials, there should be a link right below the video that will take you to like the lesson index that lists all of the lessons that I've done so far, and also that I will plan on doing in the future. So we've covered, for example, how to hold a guitar, how to read a chord chart, how to play chords in the key of G, I believe A, and D, and then this one is key of E. So please reference those other videos. If we touch on something today that you don't know how to do, you probably can find it in those other videos. So let's get started. Our first chord that we're going to learn in the key of E is an E. And an E is a pretty simple, basic chord. Probably one of the first ones, if you've learned to play guitar before, one of the first ones that you might have learned. So here's our chord diagram. So like I've said before, I like to start from the top and go down. So take your number 2 finger, your middle finger, put it on the A string, 2nd fret. Take your 3rd finger, put it on the D string right below the your middle finger on the D string, 2nd fret. They're on the same fret. Take your 1st finger, put it on the G string, 1st fret. So you are going open, 2, 2, 1, open, open. In the key of E, when you play an E chord, you let all the strings ring out. Sometimes we don't want to pluck this low E, but obviously the note E is in the key of E. It is in the chord E. So let all the strings ring out. So there's your E. Next chord we're going to learn is an A. Now we have covered A before in chords in A, and so we're just going to go over it briefly. I'm going to give you two different ways to play it. The first one is kind of the A major standard chord. Take your 2nd finger, 2nd fret on the D string, 1st finger, 2nd fret on the G string, 3rd finger, 2nd fret on the B string. You mute the low E, and to do that I like to curl my thumb over and just touch the string. If you just touch the low E string with your thumb, it doesn't ring out. Mutes it. So it's mute, open, 2, 2, 2, open. That is an A. Now, another way to play A, and the way I often play A when I'm playing chords in the key of E, is to play what I call an A2. So there's your chord diagram. So basically all you're doing is removing your 3rd finger, you're letting this B string ring open. But I like to use different fingers when I play it. So I like to either use 2 and 3, that's on the D and G string, 2nd fret, or, and this will come into play later, probably in the second part of this lesson, I like to use 3 and 4. And that is again on the D and G strings. So A2 would be open, mute, open, 2, 2, open, open. And now we're going to go to B. So I'm going to show you the easy way to play B first, and then I'll show you the hard way. So the easy way is kind of like a power chord. And the simplest way to get there is to play an A2 like we just did. Use your 3 and 4 fingers. Now, to play a B, you're going to slide them up to the 4th fret and put your 1st finger down on the A string, 2nd fret. So again, your 1st finger is on the 2nd fret of the A string. You can leave the E open, or we'll come back to the E string. You have a couple options. So 1st fret, or 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. 3rd and 4th fingers on the 4th fret on the D and G strings. So here it would be open, 2, 4, 4, open, open. if you notice, the G string and the B string are both playing a B note. And so it's kind of an open version of the B chord. Another thing you can do is sort of play a mini bar with your index finger on the E and the A strings. So your index finger would cover both the E and A strings on the second fret. It's kind of like a power chord version of B, but literally anytime I play a B in the key of B, when I play it down on this area of the fretboard, I play it like this. Okay? The other way to play B is to play it as a bar chord. And we went over bar chords in our last lesson with the B minor. So refer to that lesson for sort of a primer on bar chords. But just briefly, a bar chord is you lay one finger across all the strings, and then usually your index finger, and then you make up the chord with your other fingers. So for the chord B, to play a bar chord, lay your index finger across all the strings on the second fret, and then there's two ways to do it. Take your third and fourth fingers and put them on where we had them just before with the B chord. The D and the G strings on the fourth fret. So that's it. So it's 2, 2. I think technically you're supposed to mute this low E string, but I think it sounds okay in the chord. So it's 2, 2, 4, 4, 2, 2. 2, 2, 4, 4, 2, 2. There we go. The other way to do it is to, and this is the hardest way, and I never play it this way, so it's not going to sound very good, but is to take your third finger and sort of make a bar out of your third finger to cover the D, G, and B strings on the fourth fret. So your first finger covers all the strings on the second fret, and your third finger covers 3 of the strings on the fourth fret. And it sounds like that. So it's 2, 2, 4, 4, 4, 2. Okay, moving on to C sharp minor. So we've got E, we've got A, we've got B. C sharp minor comes next. Don't let the name of the chord scare you off. It's not very hard to play. So the way I almost always play it, and the easiest way to get to it, is to start with that power chord looking B that we had, the open B chord. So to get that B chord, you should be first finger, second fret, second string down, and then third and fourth finger, fourth fret on the D and G strings. To play a C sharp minor, slide them up 2 frets. So now your index finger is on the fourth fret of the A string, your third finger is on the 6th fret of the D string, and your fourth finger is on the 6th fret of the G string, right there. Again, you can create the mini bar with your index finger if you want, and cover the E and the A string on the fourth fret. So technically this is a C sharp, and I'm calling this a C sharp minor, and the reason that I play it this way is because in this key, when you play the chord this way, it fits as a minor. Another way you can play a C sharp minor is to take your third finger, or your second finger rather, and put it on the 5th fret of the B string. So there is where that minor really comes in. But if you notice, the 5th fret of the B string is exactly the same note as the open high E. So the note that makes that chord a minor is this E. So if you don't put your index or your middle finger down, that E is still in the chord. So I hope that makes sense of why this shape works as a C sharp minor. Again, go from the B, open variation, slide it up 2. So it's 2, 2, 4, 4, open, open. That is C sharp minor. To play C sharp minor as a bar chord, bar the 4th fret with your index finger, and then take your third finger on the D string, 6th fret, 4th finger on the G string, 6th fret, second finger on the B string, 5th fret. So it's 4, 4, 6, 6, 5, 4. And that is a bar chord C sharp minor. So, like I said, I almost always play it like this when I play a C sharp minor. So there you have it. 4 chords in the key of E, part 1. How to play E, A, B, C sharp minor. Stay tuned for part 2, where I will show you completely alternative ways to play these same 4 chords. Well, alternative except for C sharp minor. This is pretty much the only way I play C sharp minor. But you can play E, A, and B lots of different ways, and it sounds cool, and it's just moving shapes up and down the fretboard. So I'll show you that in the next part of this lesson. Until then, click through to worshiptutorials.com, where you can see large versions of these chord diagrams. Also, while you're there, there will be a link below on YouTube as well, where you can sign up for my mailing list, and I will send you free music every month. And also, please remember to visit the sponsors over at Worship Tutorials. You will see them here on the side of the screen. Currently, we have allaboutworship.com as one of our sponsors. And that is a great website run by some great people. They do lots of album reviews, and they do blog posts about worship leading. And they also have a really good podcast where a lot of times they'll interview worship leaders that you've probably heard of, like Paul Balash and one of the guys from Hillsong, Reuben Morgan, was recently interviewed over there. So that's really cool. Also, Dustin Smith's album is available just now. I'm listening to it, and I'm getting ready to do a review on it. It's great. You can click through the album cover there to go get it from iTunes and preview it, and it's really good. I recommend it, so I hope you buy it. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.